In this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to record online learning videos from your home. Hi, my name is Derek, and during the spring 2020 semester, I taught an in-person live class at a university while also teaching an asynchronous online course for students at the same university or enrolled at the same university. But when the pandemic reached the United States, schools, colleges, and universities began to close in response. As a result of those closures, access to university resources was also not available. I was not finished recording all of my lessons for the asynchronous course, and I had to find a way to finish those recordings. It was suggested to me that I should use Zoom to record those lessons because Zoom allowed me to incorporate my PowerPoint presentations. But because I had used Zoom before, I was worried about the inconsistency in the pre-recorded lessons. More specifically, I was worried about how the inconsistency could negatively impact my online students. So I had to find a way to fix this situation. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to use a smartphone to record videos for asynchronous online learning. In fact, this video right here is recorded with a smartphone. So yes, I'm using my smartphone, my iPhone, to record this video. And the only times you'll see video from a different camera is when I'm actually trying to prove to you that I am in fact using my smartphone to record this video. There's really no other way to prove that I'm using my smartphone to record this video other than to use a different camera to film this iPhone recording me with this video. So the first thing that you'll need to do before you start recording a video for an online class is you'll need to make sure that you have enough memory or storage available on your phone to record a video. So let's go ahead and take a look at my phone. And what we'll need to do is go to settings and then look for the general section under settings. And then from there, we want to look at storage. And so here we'll take a look and we'll see that I have a good amount of storage still left to record this video. So make sure that you have enough storage. If you don't have enough storage, you may need to delete some files. It can be helpful to have photos and videos upload to Dropbox or some other cloud storage, maybe even iCloud, to free up any storage or memory. Now, once you've confirmed that you have enough storage on your phone to film a video, you could just start recording. However, it'll be more efficient and more effective, and you'll have a better recording experience if you think about a few things first. One thing to think about first is the type of clothes that you're going to wear. Now, if you're going to use a green screen in your video, and I have or will have a separate video on using the green screen, but if you're going to have a green screen and you're going to use it the way it was intended, you don't want to wear green clothes, or students will only see your head rather than the clothes that you're wearing, because the green clothing will be absorbed into the green screen and it just won't appear. Also important with clothing is the type of patterns that you might have. It's not a good idea to wear very fine black and white stripe type patterns because the camera can have a difficult time focusing on that. I actually had to re-record this video because although I had a solid blue polo type shirt, it was textured, and the way that it was textured made it difficult for the camera to focus on it, and it just looked like parts of my shirt were moving around. And so you want to avoid that. So it's good to have solid colors and an even or flat texture. Otherwise, the prints and what the camera does with your clothing can be very distracting. Another element of recording that you'll want to think about before actual recording is how you want to appear in the video. So, do you want to appear in a way that you have more of your body, meaning maybe a more fuller body? Or do you just want more of your face and head? So, what you decide to do may be determined by the amount of space you have wherever you're recording, the type of camera that you're using, or what makes you feel comfortable. But whatever you decide is also going to determine how you might situate your camera. So if you want more of a full body, it makes more sense for you to have your phone up like this. Or if you want more of the face, it could be helpful to turn your phone on its side and record that way. Now, there are some drawbacks to each. I sometimes like standing up. That's what I'm a little bit more accustomed to when teaching a class in person and also online. But with a cell phone, what can happen, and as what happened in a previous recording of this video, is that my arms would get cut off on the end. And so sometimes if I go like this, or if I went like this, those fingers tips or the hands would get cut off if my camera is oriented more vertically. But if I turned it to the side, I would be able to make gestures without worry that it would get cut off and just look weird. So you're almost ready to record, but you may be wondering whether you should use the selfie front-facing camera or the back-facing camera. In between the two, I urge you to use the back-facing camera. The back-facing camera tends to be a better quality camera. It takes better quality videos. Usually the back-facing camera or back-facing cameras have more megapixels than the front-facing camera. So better quality is the first reason for using the back-facing camera. A second reason for using the back or rear-facing camera on your smartphone is that the rear-facing camera is less distracting than the selfie or front-facing camera. Oftentimes, when people use the front-facing camera to record videos, they tend to make sure that they're sitting upright, that their hair looks good, that they're positioned well in the camera frame. And while doing that, they tend not to look directly into the lens. And that can be an issue. Remember, we're teaching students and audiences during a pandemic. And they are likely watching these videos by themselves, at home, in their bedroom, in their dorm room, maybe in their car, wherever. And so it's not much of a personal experience, but we can make it more of a personal experience if we look right into the lens. It looks like we're making eye contact. Even though as the educator making the video, it seems unnatural to look and talk directly into the lens. As the viewer of the video, it looks like we're talking directly to them because it looks like we are making eye contact directly with them. And I think that can help make these online lessons a little bit more personable and impactful for those audiences. Again, using the forward or front-facing camera can oftentimes, be distracting because we're going to end up looking right here. Now, this is kind of a little bit hard for me to do because I'm using the rear-facing camera of my phone to do this, so I have to look in the area of that front-facing camera where it should be if it was turned around. But you can probably see the difference. Here, I'd be looking at myself and talking to you, but looking at myself, making sure everything is all right, as opposed to looking right at you. Again, it feels unnatural to do this, But as you do this more often, it will feel more natural. But more importantly, for our students, it feels more natural to have a video where we're looking at them, directly at them. All right? And so again, it's, if I were to give an example, a lot more people started to use Zoom in spring 2020. And with that kind of new experience, you might have noticed that when you were in Zoom sessions with other people, they did not look directly at the camera. And it might have looked like they were looking directly a little bit lower than the camera, like this. And if that's what you experienced, it's very likely that they were doing the Zoom session or participating in the Zoom session while on their laptop. And as you know, there's a camera right above the laptop screen. So if they were looking down below, if they looked like they were looking a little bit under the camera, not directly into it, they were also probably looking at themselves in it to see, what kind of adjustments they may have needed to make. Okay, so again, it's a lot better to use the rear-facing camera because one, it's a higher quality camera, but two, it's also less distracting since you won't see yourself in a video screen. And so hopefully I've been able to convey to you how much better it is to look into the camera lens. I think it's a lot more direct, it's a lot more impactful, especially during these times when our students, as well as us, are just getting acquainted or reacquainted with this distance learning or remote learning. All right, so now we're just about ready to press record. I just want to say that before you do record, make sure that you've planned out what you're going to discuss or show in your video before you actually get started. I don't think this is too difficult for educators because we normally plan out our educational lessons to some degree. Depending on how far you've done the planning, you may need to do a little bit more. If you do so, you should have less editing. But starting off, when you watch your video, you might want to edit some things out. But also think about what other, if any, what additional footage you may want to incorporate in your video lessons, or maybe even record yourself. Like I recorded some footage on my own to emphasize some of the points that I made in this video. And I also used some B-roll footage that I found that helped also to emphasize those messages. So now I would say you're ready. I encourage you to watch the next video so you can learn a few more tips and secrets to using your own camera or smartphone camera to record these videos. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and press the like button. And if you did find it helpful, I encourage you to share it with other educators. If you have any questions, please ask those questions in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer those. We'll see each other in the next video.